What's good, everyone? Welcome to episode 73 of the What's Good Games podcast.
I'm getting those golden years.
Girl, I feel like we were just doing episode 69.
We were. Not that long ago.
I am one of your hosts for this week, Brittany Brombacher. Hi, guys. Alongside Christine Steimer.
Hi. How's it going?
Hey, girl. How you doing?
I am good.
This is
our lovely third Mouseketeer is off in Italy enjoying a little vacay.
How rough.
I know, right?
I feel like I can't complain, though. I was literally just there like a week or two ago.
I will complain because both of y'all have been gone.
You have every single right to complain.
I was like, I should go on vacation. I don't know who to go on vacation with or where to go. So I'll stay here and work.
No. We need to go on a little retreat. I know that's kind of a vacation, kind of not.
We keep saying this, but I'm like, someone needs to pull the trigger and book these tickets.
Okay, where do you want to go for a What's Good Games retreat?
I will go anywhere, man. Hawaii is good.
Hawaii is good. Are you feeling Vegas, or is that a little too not?
Vegas is too. It's not relaxing for me.
Yeah. You want to go somewhere where there's beach and warm water.
I want to go beach. I want to have like a drink with you, ladies. We can go run around at the pool or like do a fun excursion of some kind.
I want to do parasailing. That's something I've always wanted
to do.
That
looks terrifying.
Really?
Wait, is that the one where the boat pulls you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems really scary.
Oh, really?
I don't like being that high up.
Oh.
But I do want to learn how to stand paddleboard.
Oh, that's really fun. I did that when I was in Bora Bora. And it's actually not that hard. I didn't even fall once, Steimer.
Wow.
My klutzy ass actually did not fall. It was amazing.
It's a sport for Brittany.
Sport for Brittany. All right, let's see what we got going on for some housekeeping. We are going to be at TwitchCon, ladies and gentlemen. That is in San Jose, October 26th through the 28th. We are talking about a meetup. We want to do something. We, in true What's Good Games fashion, don't have anything ironed out yet, but we got time. Right, Steimer? We got time.
It's only October 2nd today.
Flying by the seat of our pants. I have actually never been to TwitchCon.
I was at the first TwitchCon because it was in San Francisco at the Moscone Center. And it wasn't great because it was the first one. So I don't think they quite figured out what they were doing, or I didn't quite understand the purpose of it, but now it seems like it's got more of a defined purpose.
Defined purpose, if you will. No, that makes sense. First conventions are always a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
They will be premiering our studio tour that they came by and shot with Andrea and I. It's that kind of rhymed. Yeah, that rhymed.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. Excited for everyone to see that. We also are posting our Lights Off episodes every Wednesday to YouTube. So that's youtube.com/whatsgoodgames. So last year we worked with Facebook and did a fun horror Let's Play series called Lights Off, where we played scary games and uploaded them to Facebook. And now for the first time, they're available on YouTube. So if you don't like Facebook, if you don't use Facebook, don't worry about it. You can go to youtube.com/whatsgoodgames.
I'm excited for more people to see those.
Oh, yeah, they're really fun. We're all really proud of how they turned out because they're professional grade quality. Not that you'd expect anything less from us. Yeah, well, there you go. No, it's really fun.
I will say, I look like a demon. It's so weird because the infrared light switches colors. Mm-hmm. So, your eyes are dark because they're blue, and Andrea's are light. Mm-hmm. She's got, green-blue eyes. And so, I have brown eyes, the only one that has brown eyes. So it inverts.
Yeah.
So I just look like I have white eyes. It's freaky. I look like a vampire or something.
A very sexy vampire. Yeah, so the whole premise is that we turn all the lights off in the studio and then we have an infrared camera on us. So it's just us in the dark playing these games. And like Steimer says, it screws with your eye color and all that good stuff. But that was a really, really fun series. We had a good time. So every Wednesday leading up to Halloween, and then on the day of Halloween itself, which falls on a Wednesday, we have a brand new episode that we will be releasing. And it will be good. What game are we going to play?
We're not sure what we don't know the game, and we don't know what form it will be.
I have a few games I'm thinking about that I'm holding off on playing.
Dude, I remember, which one was it? It was Slender Man, where I was sweating. sweating so much.
So
because I was so nervous.
It was so fun. So Steimer and I were playing Slender the Arrival. That was one of the games we were paired up to play. And I don't know if I've ever been more terrified in a game before, because neither one of us knew what we were doing. It was obviously dark. We're both wearing headphones. And that game is scary, especially when you don't know how to play Slender.
The sound design is freaky.
Oh, man. We literally were sweating. I was crying. I don't know if you cried at one point. I did.
I burrowed into myself.
You did.
I screamed and burrowed, which is what my
you screamed and burrowed. I cried. My headphone almost came off of my head because I was like spazzing out so much. And then I think I pulled a muscle in my sternum.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I remember that. You're like, oh, I pulled a muscle. I was like, how the fuck did you pull a muscle?
I don't know either. Slender made me scared, man. So if you're looking for something freaky to watch in the month of October, because we're in it now, totally would recommend you check it out.
Grab a bag of candy corn. Enjoy.
Have a drink. You might need it. Also, just as a little heads up, I think we're going to stick to 2 segments for this show, just because I'm admittedly on day 10 of no solid food, and I'm feeling a little lightheaded, a little dizzy. So we might keep this one a little short. I know we say that all the time, and it typically will go like 10 and a half hours, but we'll see how we do.
Yes.
All right. So this week's episode is brought to you by MeUndies, which is so freaking awesome. So I've seen MeUndies everywhere. I've seen them when I'm scrolling through Facebook. I hear our friends talking about how great they are, like Steimer over here. But I always thought, sure, the patterns are adorable, but it's just underwear. How amazing can they really be? Well, Steimer, Andrea, and I recently received a few sample products. I'm not sure if we received the same thing, but so Steimer, what did you get?
So I got underwear, like just a pair of underwear, which is fine because I actually own an entire drawer full of MeUndies. Before we ever got this sponsorship, I started buying MeUndies like 3 years ago because they're super soft, they're very comfortable, and they have cute patterns. So I'm like, yes, I would like this underwear. But then they also gave me a bralette, which is also super soft, and socks. I was like, what was the last thing? The socks are also really nice.
What pattern are on your underwear?
So the underwear, I think I just ended up going with, I actually don't know what the pattern is. I've already forgotten. Because again, my brain, I have so many. I think my favorite ones, you can't get them anymore, but are these pink donuts.
Oh.
They're really good. But they also just had like a Star Wars collaboration, which is pretty cool.
They have so many fun patterns, especially now for Halloween. If you go on their website, you can see all these really cute jack-o'-lantern themed underwears. And what's really cool is you can get matching pairs with your partner, but we'll talk about that in a second. I actually got dogs. My underwear is full of little so cute puppy dog heads, and I also got the bralette too, and holy crap, it is so soft and comfortable. So with that said, I gotta say the hype for these things are real. So MeUndies apparently uses micromodal fabric, which is 3 times softer than regular cotton, which makes so much sense because hello, soft nether regions are happy nether regions.
Very true.
Yeah, and it also feels like I'm kind of wearing like the most comfortable onesie ever on my lady parts. I'm just going to throw that out there. I mean, I own a lot of bralettes, and I've never felt one as soft before like this. And this is like just true, honest feedback here. I was like, what's the big deal? It's just something you wear on your boobs. But then, you know, as women, the things we wear on our bodies sometimes aren't the most comfortable.
Most of the things we wear aren't that comfortable.
It's true. It's true. So, again, I am totally here vouching for how comfortable these things are. They release multiple fun prints each month in matching socks and bralettes. You can even get a matching pair with your partner, which is super duper cute. MeUndies also has a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You're going to love these undies, but if you're not into it, MeUndies will do whatever they can to get you into the right pair. And if they can't, keep them and they'll refund you. So it really is risk-free to try the best underwear ever. To get your 15% off your first pair, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/WGG. That's MeUndies.com/WGG.
Woo woo.
Get
yourself some
under things.
I was under stuff, but that's not a great word.
I like it, under stuff. Under stuff and under things. Let's hop into some news. Okay, Sam, I know you're very, very excited about this, and I'm sad Andrea isn't here, because I feel like she would be just as excited. We have a leaked Harry Potter game? What?
Which, like, if this shit's real...
Oh my god.
Sign me up.
So this write-up comes from Destructoid by Jordan DeVore. An eye-catching leak with footage of a new Harry Potter game made the rounds this morning, courtesy of Reddit user Vape This Bro. Amazing.
Of course.
It's said to be an action-adventure RPG title starring a fifth-year student at Hogwarts, and unlike the recent batch of Harry Potter adaptations, it shows genuine promise. The leaker claims to have somehow strolled into, quote, one of those mall survey groups without getting his phone taken away or signing a non-disclosure agreement before seeing the game. And I pulled his statement here off of Reddit. Vape This Bro says, it was one of those mall survey groups. I wasn't allowed to have the camera. The signs in the lobby say no phones, but no one checked me. The guys who did all the paperwork looked like they gave zero fucks about their jobs and were getting anyone and everyone who would do the viewing to do it. I got paid to watch it. Going back to the write-up.
I've never heard of a mall survey like this. Have you?
No. I haven't.
Is this a thing?
I don't know. It's a little weird. So back to the write-up. It's quite the story, but regardless, the footage itself looks real, and sources have backed up the veracity of the Harry Potter leak. While Warner Brothers has since pulled the original video and surely will be on high alert for any mirrors, there are a few tidbits to note. According to BBC News reporter Lizo Mzimba, the game is currently known as Harry Potter Magic Awakened, quote, although other titles including Magic Forever are also in the mix.
God, please call it Magic Forever. What a dorky fucking title.
Eurogamer is also reporting that the project is, quote, at least a year away from launch. The footage shows the school grounds, a split-second look at character creation, a magical duel, and the player character using stone pillars to come crashing down on a group of goblins. So here is the summary that Vape This Bro posted, I think, to Reddit. Set in the 19th century, 1800s. Now, this is a very well put together summary, so I'm assuming that this was PR
This is probably what was given to him, yeah.
Exactly. Set in the 19th century, 1800s, Wizarding World, this third-person open-world action RPG game centers around your character with multiple abilities who has earned a late acceptance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You are a newly arrived fifth-year student to Hogwarts that demonstrates a latent gift for the magic with a unique ability to track and identify remnants of a potent, I think he meant potent, ancient power. Upon arrival, strange events begin to materialize in the Forbidden Forest, and trouble begins to brew within the castle walls. Together with Professor Elazar Fig, you embark on a journey through both familiar and never-before-seen locations to bring to light the truth behind these mysterious occurrences. On your quest, you will craft potions, master new spells, and discover fantastical beasts. You will battle dark wizards, goblins, and other supernatural enemies, and uncover the truth about your destiny. The fate of the wizarding world lies in your hands. Features. Bullet points here. Journey to Hogwarts to become one of 8 different wizard types.
Fuck yes.
Yes. Experience Hogwarts, make new friends, uncover new secrets, and change the fate of the wizarding world.
Fuck yes.
Experience a new magic system that creates countless possibilities to master magic.
Fuck yes.
Yes. Freely explore the wizarding world for the first time.
Fuck yes.
Choose your house and friends at Hogwarts and decide to pursue a path of good or evil. Create your own witch or wizard and experience an all-new story separate from the books or films.
Fuck yes.
Wow. And then finally, there's well-founded speculation that Avalanche Software, one of the teams behind Disney Infinity, is handling development. The studio's last release was 2017's Cars 3, Driven to Win. Steimer.
Yeah.
Break it down for me, baby girl.
I mean, if this is true, this is like the happiest day of my life.
I mean, it has to be true. It doesn't have to be true. Let me rephrase that. It would be pretty remarkable if Vape This Bro created this
maybe Vape This Bro made it while he was high as fuck.
I know. This sizzle reel and just kind of decided to fuck with the internet. I mean, it would be pretty amazing.
It would be pretty amazing. But like, this is what I've always wanted from like a Harry Potter game. I want to make my own wizard. I want to like do the sorting hat and figure out where I would be. I want to have, if this had different quests depending on which house you're in, that'd be fucking awesome. Which maybe it will. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. But like, then the way that I watched that video and like combat. Granted, I always think combat's gonna be a little wonky in a wizarding game because you're like flicking your fucking wand at things. But I played all the old Harry Potter games. I reviewed a few of them for IGN, and it was always fine. So like, I think if they can just get that into a fun place where you're like swapping spells and having it be more like puzzly, like he's knocking down the pillars, it makes sense. I'm just. Like, I was watching this video, and I was like, fuck, yes, please. Like, I want to make my own character. I want to make my own wizard. I want to explore Hogwarts. I want to just, like, to be in that world again, but not Harry Potter, if that makes sense. Like,
no.
I want to I like that it has its own thing.
That totally makes sense. And I've always been intrigued by the world of Harry Potter and the lore. And obviously it's magic and medieval-esque, and that really turns my crank, floats my boat, sharpens my pencil. But I've always just casually enjoyed the films. But I've always said if there's an RPG, or even there's talks, you know, people for a while were talking about an MMO for Harry Potter. That sounds like something I would like to get into. So this is awesome. This isn't like that stupid free-to-play iOS or whatever touch game that just came out, like Hogwarts Mystery, where that plant strangles you and then you can't do anything, and I was very upset about that.
Yeah, I think they need to figure out the name. I think both of those names are terrible.
Yeah.
But
yeah, those names are pretty. Those names are pretty silly.
Those are pretty
Harry
bad.
Potter Magic Awakened,
or Magic Forever. But
yeah,
who? Did you ask a 12-year-old to name this? I feel like that's.
So
Magic Forever.
How do you feel about Harry Potter being an RPG?
Love it.
Yes.
Fucking love it. Why would I not love that?
I don't know.
I love everything about it. I love that it's like you have different wizard types and you can like customize your magic. Yes, please. I would like all of these things. That sounds amazing, because there are different types of sort of specialties and things that you can be really good at, as they've sort of touched on in the books. So, like, are you somebody who's really good at potions, or are you somebody, like, maybe if you're a potions person, you're basically crafting bombs, and you're kind of like a grenadier.
Ooh, like an apothecary kind of thing.
Yeah, and then if you are maybe you can, they probably wouldn't do this, to be hard to animate, but like a transmorg, and you're just like, oh, now I am a beast, and I attack you.
That would be cool. So yeah, 8 different wizard types. I'm thinking, you know, typically in role-playing games, you have your warrior, your rogue, your mage, or whatever. So those are like the types that you usually use. But yeah, like you said, they'll probably, unless they're like, okay, you can be a fire wizard, like an ice wizard, or is that not Harry Potter-esque?
It's not really Harry Potter.
Okay.
They don't really have elemental specializations. At least from what I remember, it wasn't like you are a fire wizard, but you could be. I'm trying to think now, and I'm like, I don't. 8 seems like a lot to me, but maybe if you're like a dark wizard or something versus somebody who never kills anything. Like for instance, Harry Potter always uses like stupefy. He like stuns people.
Oh.
He doesn't ever, but you can also Avada Kedavra like kill people. So I think that like maybe there are things along those lines. Again, maybe you specialize more in potions, or you specialize in dark arts, or you specialize in. This wouldn't make any sense for combat. I was gonna say like there were divination classes that you would in Harry Potter. I don't know how that would relate, but so it's hard for me to figure out exactly how all of those classes would relate to combat.
Yeah,
they don't all make sense. But so yeah, I would be curious to see if that's true or not. I wonder if they'll have like a time wizard, which wouldn't make a whole lot of sense in Harry Potter, but a little bit, because in one of the books, Hermione has this time turner, and it's like that's like a really rare and crazy thing, and you can't run into your other self, or he'll go insane and be thrown into.
Oh yeah, you and Andrea were explaining that to me. That's right, I remember you explaining that to me. The thing that has me also really excited about this is it could just be a straightforward like narrative, you know, whatever. And it will be. I'm sorry. I'm talking more of a linear narrative. But it looks like you make your new friends, uncover secrets, whatever. But then I read something here. Choose your house and your friends at Hogwarts and decide to pursue a path of good or evil. Yes. So that makes me think that you're going to have story. What am I trying to say here? You're going to have to answer.
Choices?
Thank you. Choices is a hard word. Yeah, you're going to have to make choices that are going to impact the story, which I'm like, oh.
Well, it does. Yeah, it should impact the story a little bit, but I think I'm not sure like how good or evil you can get. I'm curious to see how far they toe that line, or if it's just. And I also wonder if you can be like a good Slytherin, or if they're going to kind of imply that you are somewhat selfish, at least if you are a Slytherin, because Slytherins are usually driven by power. So it's not necessarily like a bad thing, but it can be. Slytherins, I would say, are the most susceptible to going to darkness.
Yeah, I always thought the Slytherins were the assholes of Harry Potter.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Hufflepuffs are like the really nice ones. Ravenclaws are basically studious and keep to themselves. And then everyone is just Gryffindor because they're like, I'm the best, lion,
I'm the best. So I want to touch a little bit on Avalanche Software, not to be confused with Avalanche Studios, which is the Swedish developer behind Just Cause. So Avalanche Software
is confusing.
It is very confusing. So Avalanche Software were the people behind Disney Infinity, and then they were shut down in May of 2016. And then Warner Brothers Interactive bought them in late January 2017 from Disney. And then shortly...
How do you buy a thing that doesn't exist?
Well, I think they bought... What did they... They must have bought something.
I thought they just bought the IPs.
Maybe it was the IPs, but maybe they bought... I'll look into this. Hold on. Because there is something that says, like, what they actually bought.
Gotcha.
So sing me a tune, Steimer, while I'm looking this up.
I'm gonna sing to you the song of my people, which goes salt, 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 salty, salt, salt, salt,
okay.
Salt, salt.
So... According to Wikipedia, on January 24th, 2017, Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment announced that it had acquired the studio from Disney, including its Octane engine software, and reopened the studio, with John Blackburn returning as its CEO. So maybe...
Okay, so not necessarily everybody who worked there got back, but they did.
It was probably like a closed husk of a studio, and then Warner Brothers were like, yo, we want this.
Hey, actually, would it be cool if we resuscitated you?
We want you. So,
would you like to be a zombie studio? Thanks.
Zombie studio. I once applied to work at... gosh, I think it was called Zombie Studios or something in Seattle as an office assistant.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Yeah, many years ago. So shortly after they were acquired by Disney, job postings from 2017 called for staff with a, quote, deep understanding of British culture and grammatical presentation with a good knowledge of gaming narrative and branching storytelling, particularly in the realm of RPGs. Yeah, and Eurogamer has apparently confirmed that this is not Rocksteady's next game, which a lot of people thought this was what they were working on. But
no,
sources,
I wouldn't think Rocksteady would work on this.
Right, and it doesn't really look like a Rocksteady game from what we've seen. So
no, it's not.
That's exciting. Hold on to your butts. Oh God, my cord's in front of my chest. Andrea would freak out. I gotta fix that. There we go.
Good job.
Our little on-set, whatever the title is, to let us know if our makeup's fucked up, if our cords producer is not here to keep us in line. Moving on.
We can do whatever we want.
Burn it all down. New Red Dead Redemption
2 gameplay trailer revealed.
Yeah, girl. All right. So, Rockstar Games has released its second gameplay video preview for Red Dead Redemption 2 yesterday. That was Monday. Focusing on the sundry experiences and nefarious activities players will enjoy as outlaw Arthur Morgan. Yeah.
Please enjoy robbing people. So my favorite part about this trailer is they use the word burgle in it.
I know, it's so good. Well, Rockstar's... I love that word. I didn't even know that was an actual word. Well, Rockstar's previous gameplay preview for Red Dead Redemption 2 focused more on the game's world and characters that players will interact with. Today's is all about what you can do in the Wild West. In the video, Rockstar boasts that players will discover experiences naturally as you move fluidly from one moment to another. That runs the gamut from large-scale heists like train robberies.
Runs the gamut?
Gamut. I said gamut. I'm thinking of Bahamut, but he's actually called Bahamut from Final Fantasy. Anyway, moving on. Like train robberies to smaller, more personal missions. Arthur can rob coaches and passerby. He can hold up stores, burgle houses.
Fuck yeah, burgling.
Gamble, fish, herd cattle, go drinking, and dancing. There are opportunities to gamble in poker, dominoes, and games of five-finger filet.
Also, you can go see a show.
Oh, dude, I know. Red Dead Redemption 2's Deadeye system will change over time, Rockstar says, allowing Arthur to slow down time, paint targets on his enemies, and spot critical points on NPCs. And as previously revealed, the game can be played entirely in first-person view if you'd like to nail those headshots with your own steady aim.
I don't know why you would ever play the entire game in first-person.
Yeah.
But I'm not a first-person person. It's not my favorite thing. I can understand for the shooting parts, wanting like clicking in and making it first person there. But there's something about like seeing your horse, seeing your character, especially because you can dress him up, of course. And then they were also talking about things that this article hasn't touched on, like not only can you pick out your clothes, you can choose how often you bathe, which is fairly funny.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, so I've watched this trailer, gosh, 4 or 5 times now, and I even had my mom watch it with me. And I was like, Mom, come look at this cool thing. And she said,
was she like, oh, you're doing bad things in this game?
I showed her 2 game trailers in the past like 6 months. Doom 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2. She's a trooper.
And you picked this one? She's
I picked
Did she at least say it was pretty?
Oh yeah, she's like, this is a movie. This can't be a video game. I'm like, nah.
This is what it is now.
Nah, this is what it is. So yeah, so I took some notes on some things that made me very excited, and we can run through these. And Steimer, you've already touched on them a little bit. So the heist, the bank robberies, so this is what I'm concerned about.
Okay.
Am I going to be required to do these? Because see, I want Arthur Morgan to be an upstanding citizen.
He's not going to be a complete upstanding citizen because he is part of a gang.
That is true.
But I would imagine that you could probably do the robberies in ways that feel less terrible, i.e. you're not killing anyone. You could be like knocking people out and making sure that the people are fine. And I'd imagine that that's how you would have to do it. I don't think because I can't imagine the game doesn't have at least one story required
heist.
Burgling.
Burgle.
I've got to use the word burgle because it's
Burgle.
fun. And but again, I think you could probably go about it in a way that feels less vile for you. That's how I think they'll probably handle it.
It also showed him robbing houses, holding up stores. But the thing that it did show that I thought that was really cute is it shows him taking 3 women in a coach somewhere. I don't know what the point of that mission was, but it almost looked like they're like, please, Arthur, take us to this thing. We want to do it. And they're all like singing in the back of his coach about wine or something else. Did you listen to it with the audio, Steimer?
I didn't hear. Okay. I couldn't make out the song. I knew they were singing. I just didn't listen to the words.
So it kind of looked like just a silly side quest where you're just kind of seeing a softer side of Arthur Morgan, like taking these 3 girls, being the first Uber, if you will.
He is the first Uber. Do you think they gave him 5 stars?
Maybe they gave him more than that. This is the Wild West, baby.
Oh, shit.
I mean, honestly, I don't know like what they were doing or what they were asking for, but they were
they don't give any context. It's just like, oh, hey, and then they get in the coach.
No, it is like those are the little moments that I feel like are so important for character building, that you get to see other sides of these so-called hard criminals, and I thought that was really, really cute.
Yeah, and he also does give money, or he can, I suppose, give money to like a beggar on the street.
Oh, that's right. You do see him doing that. You do see him giving.
So you can be kind. You could be a little bit of a Robin Hood if you would like, Brittany.
Ooh. So are you saying I can go hold up a few? I could burgle some homes actually, and then drop some money into the beggar's hat, and all my sins will be forgiven.
I think that's how it works.
Oh my gosh. So a lot of these previews went live on September 20th. A lot of press got to go hands-on with Red Dead Redemption 2. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make the events. So a lot of this isn't necessarily new, but I was in Europe when all this broke, so I'm just now trying to catch up on everything regarding this, and I found some pretty cool stuff. So Steimer.
Yeah.
I found an article from GameSpot called 10 Most Surprising Things from Red Dead Redemption 2, written by Edmund Tran and Matt Espinelli. So you can switch out so you can switch out your clothes, and you can wear clothes for hot days and warm days, or hot days and cold days. That was really silly. So if you're like, if you're wearing a jacket during a hot summer day, running stamina will take a big hit. So you have to be careful.
Interesting.
So you have to be careful what you're wearing. And it sounds like there are cute other customizable things you can do, like rolling up your sleeves or tucking your jeans into your boots.
It's so minuscule, but I fucking love it.
Oh my god, I told you.
I love it.
I've been hyped for Red Dead 2 for a very long time, obviously, but I think my hype has reached a peak level after seeing this trailer. I'm just like, oh my god. Okay.
I love dressing people. Yes, you are my doll. You are my human doll. I can't wait to style this man.
I'm going to make you look real good. So you can clean your gun. You have to clean your gun. Otherwise, they'll jam during combat, and you don't want that.
That's annoying as shit. I don't like that, but it's fine.
I'm hoping it's just more of a, like, press Y to...
Yeah, but then why even have it in is my question.
No, that's true. No, that's very, very true. We'll have to see how that goes. So pelts and meat will rot and attract critters, reducing value, and makes people not want to be around you because you're carrying around rotten meat. And if you use a gun, you'll get less money for your pelts and your meat than if you were to use an arrow. Obviously, because then...
That makes sense, yes. Because you damage the pelts with... Gun.
Exactly. If you're a dirty bastard, these are my notes. This is my paraphrasing here. If you're a dirty bastard, NPCs may refuse to talk to you or serve you. So in this trailer, you know,
no shoes, no shirt, no service, no bathing. Get the fuck out.
No bathing, GTFO. So in this trailer, we see that, like Steimer said, you do have the option to bathe Arthur Morgan and groom him, or you don't have to. So you see him at one point walking outside. It looks like out of a barn, just covered in shit. And this NPC sees him and recoils and just turns and runs away. So I'm assuming that's how it's going to work. Kingdom Come Deliverance sort of had something like that, where if you were dressed like a nobleman, if you were dressed like a peasant, people would remark at what you're wearing, and you would just be treated like shit. I don't know if it actually impacted the way that impacted the things you could do in the game, but it sounds like in this one it will impact the things you can do, or people just won't want to talk to you because you're going to be a stinky bastard.
Yep.
Your hair and facial hair grows. You can always cut it shorter, but you can't make it longer.
So that... Shit, what game was that? Oh, it was Witcher. I was like, I can't remember. The only thing that I found annoying about it in The Witcher was I wanted to lock it. I wanted it to be... You
wanted to stay where it was when you
stay
liked it.
At a sort of halfway in between point, like a bit of stubble. And I couldn't get it to stay there. He would keep growing a motherfucking beard, and it would ruin every cutscene.
Why does your hair grow, Geralt?
No, here's the most annoying fucking shit. I would purposely go shave him before I knew that, like a scene was gonna happen.
And then to look good for the
somehow, by the time I fucking got there, it already, like, I fast traveled to the thing to do the thing, and it grew in that amount of time. And then in the cutscene, it was ruined, and I was really pissed off.
Geralt.
So I kind of want them to offer, like, a lock facial hair. Like, it won't grow. Please let me. Growing facial hair bothers me.
I wish we could do that. I was gonna say, I wish we could do that in real life. Just be like, all right, everything, just stop. Thanks.
I get that it's quote unquote realistic, but Christ, come on, I'm in a video game. Like, let me lock my facial hair to a certain length. Because you would theoretically be able to keep it that length. You would be able to continue.
Just give it a little trim. A little trimsy.
Yeah.
Finally, you need to eat to keep health stamina meters up, but you will lose weight depending on food intake. Gain weight depending on food intake. You have to remain active to remain in tip-top shape. So you can become a little portly Arthur Morgan, or maybe a very skinny.
Oh my god. Oh, I like this idea.
I know, isn't that cute?
I mean, part of me likes this, and part of me is like, Jesus, this sounds like too much micromanagement. So I wonder if there will be options. At all. Like, I wonder if it will be like, if you play on a different, I don't know if it's not really difficulty, but like on a different setting where you wouldn't have to. I don't know if they're even offering that or not.
Yeah, no, I imagine this isn't going to impact gameplay. So what I'm not sure on...
It does. Yeah, but it very much impacts gameplay.
No, sorry. Like, what I mean is I don't know if you need to eat to keep your health up, or if you just need to eat when you're low on health. Does that make sense? Like, if I'm full on health and I'm not eating, is my health going to consistently go down? If so, that's dumb. I don't like that. Like, this isn't a survival game that I'm trying to play, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves in games. Not my pet peeve, sorry. That's one of the reasons why I don't like survival games that much, is because I don't like the constant micromanaging. I just want to be able to explore and let go of some of the trials and tribulations of real life, like the need to eat and drink.
Like eating. Yes, like, exactly.
I love eating. I love eating. So yeah, we'll see. I'd be curious to find that out too. But going back to the trailer we actually saw today, so we saw Arthur Morgan fishing, which I thought was really cool.
It was very pretty. I mean, I'm not going to do it because I hate fishing in video games.
Wait, what? Really?
I hate fishing in video games.
Oh.
Hate it. Hunting, I will hunt the shit out of everything.
See, I love a good fishing minigame. You typically find them in JRPGs, and even Zelda has some good fishing minigames in there. But Breath of Fire 3 is the best. I mean,
it looks very pretty, so I'm glad for you to be able to experience fishing in these ponds.
Thank you, Steimer. That was a very nice thing for you to say. We see
you playing... act like I'm a fucking monster sometimes.
No, you're not. That was no. That was a very PC, PR friendly, like, nice. That was just a nice thing to say. You're not a monster. You're a beautiful angel, glistening with sparkles and diamonds, descending from the very heavens above me.
Oh my god! I just need to have you around me more often.
See, baby girl, I got you. I got you. I think I dug myself out of that one, ladies and gentlemen.
You did.
You also see him playing cards, shooting whiskey, dancing with someone, chopping wood, playing dominoes, and then the 5-finger fillet game.
Yeah, which is like, ow.
Ow. And you saw, like you said, him watching a dance. and doing a duel. And so I think the reason this trailer got me so excited is just there's just so much to do. I don't think I realized how much there is to do in this game.
And that's all side shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's all optional content.
Mm-hmm.
I won't do most of it. I won't do any of those mini games because I don't care about them. But it's nice that they're there, and that, you know, if I felt like wasting some time in a game at some point, you're like, you know what? I'm just tired and I don't feel like doing another regular mission, so I'll just go play Five Finger Fillet. Why not?
Yeah.
I like that they have things to do to mix up the pacing of the gameplay so that you can take breaks when you need to.
Yeah, that open world fatigue, man. It's
real.
It can be very, very real. Well, we're all very excited. Obviously, this game is coming out in just a few weeks.
Oh my God, really? I can't believe, like, time is a weird concept.
Dude, I know. It's kind of crazy. So the first Red Dead came out in 2010, and I feel like ever since then, you know, we've all been waiting for this, and here we are 8 years later, and holy crap, it's actually coming.
And the horses look so pretty.
Oh my gosh. There's just so much good about this game. I kind of want to go on a media blackout right now, but I don't know if that's going to be possible.
I mean, it's not going to be that, but I don't think they're going to have that much more.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, like you just said, the game's almost out.
Yeah.
They already know people, like, let's be real. People are on board this train.
Yeah,
like, this is not a thing you got to sell too much.
Yeah, that's very true. Can't wait. All right, moving on. PSX 2018 is not happening.
Dun, dun, dun.
Can't say this is too surprising, but this write-up is from Jonathan Dorbush of IGN. PlayStation's worldwide studio chairman Sean Layden has confirmed Sony will not be holding a PlayStation Experience event in 2018. Layden made the announcement on the PlayStation Blogcast, saying, quote, "For 2018, I know this is going to be a disappointment to some people, but we decided to not hold PlayStation Experience this year. We won't have it in the States this year," he continued. "The reasons behind that really are we have a lot of progress that we're making on our games. And now that we have Spider-Man out the door, we're looking down into 2019 games like Dreams and Days Gone. But we wouldn't have enough to bring people all together in some location North America to have that event. We don't want to set expectations really high and then not deliver on that. It was a hard decision, but we have determined this year we will not hold PlayStation Experience." While last year's PlayStation Experience was not as news-heavy in years past, PSX 2016 saw the announcement of both The Last of Us Part 2 and Uncharted: The Lost Legacies revealed. Unfortunately, this might mean news of whether Sony fans can change their PSN names will have to wait. At last year's PSX... this is never going to go away. Layden said he hoped people wouldn't have to keep asking about PSN name changes by next PSX.
Do you think he definitely knew?
I'm thinking,
what a sneaky squirrel.
How coy.
No. He's like, because by the next PSX, when will that be? Nobody knows. Could be 10 years from now. It's not going to be 10 years from now, but like,
it'll be next year.
I love that he did that, probably full knowing that they weren't doing a PSX this year.
So coy. So in wake of all this, Kind of Funny is hosting their own press conference of sorts for developers.
What?
Oh yeah, dude.
Wait,
you haven't heard about this?
No.
Okay. So check out twitter.com/GameOverGreggy for more info if you're interested, if you're a developer and you want to have your game highlighted.
Don't send him more traffic. I'm just kidding.
Steimer. But yeah, so
wait, what?
So yeah, okay, we'll talk about Greg and Kind of Funny real quick. So my understanding is that Greg saw this news break while he was recording the what's the first show they do? The Garbage Truck on Fire, the morning show. Yeah, the morning show. And he got this idea that, you know, we want to highlight all developers and everyone else who would benefit from a press conference, like something at PSX. And now
but people that aren't part of PlayStation, just literally anyone?
I want to say it's literally anyone at this point. Like if you're they're not expecting to get actual trailers from PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo. It's more about, obviously, like third parties and indies and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Yep. So this is going to air the Saturday after the Game Awards. I think it's at 8 a.m. No, I don't know. I don't have all the information. But
okay. Go to Greg's Twitter.
Yeah. So if you want to talk to him about that, he's taking submissions.
Bizarre turn of events.
There you go. That's Greg Miller for you. So I have to say, this
Very
is
true.
really not surprising. I mean, we hadn't heard anything on PSX, and it's like, hi, we were almost in October by this point, so not a surprising announcement. Steimer, what do you think?
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Because, last year definitely felt odd because there was enough, but even last year felt a little bare bones in comparison to years prior. Mm-hmm. So I don't blame them. And those events aren't cheap. That's expensive as shit to put on. So, and not to mention it costs a lot of money for people traveling to it. So you do want to feel like you're giving people value if they are taking time off around Christmas. Like that's potentially a lot of people's vacation time that they wouldn't be spending with their families. So I do respect them for canceling it instead of putting on a lackluster show. And then you've got people who have traveled and put money towards this, and it's not a feel-good situation. So, I mean, good job for recognizing that and canceling it. I think it's weird that they did it on the blogcast, to be quite honest with you. But other than that.
Yeah, I think they're trying to use their blogcasts for more avenues of announcements. You know, like, look at this whole thing we have.
Like, then the statement is the way you speak, which is not as eloquent. So, as you were reading it, I thought to myself, oh, that's legitimately exactly what he said, because that's how people talk.
I wasn't skipping words.
You'll stop a sentence and then course correct halfway through, which is what he does. So it's sort of funny to have that whole quoted.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
No, yeah.
It's just PR person and me going, interesting.
Interesting. Yep. Put a pin in that head. It's not happening. That said, Xbox is having their X018, X018. Is it X018 or X18? Like, how the hell do you pronounce this thing?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
But it's in Mexico.
It's in New Mexico. Oh, it's Mexico City.
I'm like, it's not New Mexico.
No, sorry. Mexico City. I have it right here, Mexico City. I blame the lack of solid food. So, this is November 10th in Mexico City. It's the 4th annual Xbox Fan Fest in Mexico City. It'll be live streamed as part of its, quote, biggest episode of Inside Xbox yet. So I don't think we'll see anything groundbreaking from this. I know because they are integrating Inside Xbox. That has kind of been their Xbox's newest avenue for, you know, minor announcements, I would say. I don't think anything major has broken on that. I could be wrong. If I am, I apologize.
I don't remember.
But maybe we'll see some Crackdown. Steimer, does that get your panties all in a bundle?
Crackdown.
She has the fatigue.
I just want it. I just want it so desperately.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it feels like it's not going to happen somehow. And that bums me out. Because the first Crackdown was so fun. It was just stupid fun. Mm-hmm. It was, I think somebody was comparing it to like Earth Defense Force. I'm like, yeah, kind of in a way. Like, it's not designed to be a super serious game by any means.
Right.
It knows what it is. And what it is like fun destruction, blow shit up, throw people at insane velocities, have a good time, just break shit. That's Crackdown. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that this game keeps getting pushed, in fact, we just haven't heard from it in so long, makes me nervous. Sort of like, honest to God, Days Gone, I also feel this way about. I'm like, what's going on with you? Because
really?
Days Gone hasn't been really at an event in a while. Like, they've had picture opportunities, but they've not shown it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening to that game?
I think the last we heard about it was that preview event Andrea went to a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was perusing the internet to see if people are getting really, really excited about this Xbox Fan Fest, because admittedly, I've never paid attention to it.
I have not either, but apparently this year it's getting more hype.
It is getting a lot more hype. Maybe, you know, Xbox is like, we can swoop in and steal this. Steal it from what? I don't know. That doesn't even make sense.
The problem is, like, they literally just bought all those studios, or at least they just announced that they bought them. There's no way that they could be talking about anything they're working on yet.
Well, if you want to get real hype, never going to happen moment, Fable 4, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, so...
Because that game will take like 10 years to develop.
Okay, so it's all been but confirmed by this point. Eurogamer did a big scoop on it. Obviously, Playground Games is the one working on it. Microsoft obviously just announced that they acquired Playground Games. I don't think it's going to happen here, but I think that is like the big get hype moment that is just like not going to happen. But if it does happen, it would blow minds. So
it would be nice.
It would be nice.
But not if, wait, I'm just realizing I was like, wait, Playground, I forgot what they've done. And then I'm like, they've only done Forza.
Right. So that's kind of the scratcher, right? Like, that's kind of, but
let's put a developer that's done racing games on this, which is, it's fine because you think about somebody like Guerrilla and all they ever did was a first-person shooter, and then they made an amazing third-person action RPG.
I mean, imagine maybe there's a couple different teams in there obviously working on that. But yeah, so other things people are getting really hyped about, Halo Infinite footage. Maybe we'll see more. Not quite sure. Battletoads and other extra hype moment. More studio acquisitions. But I would say don't bet your first.
I don't know who else there is to buy.
Telltale.
I mean, they don't exist anymore.
Also,
that would be, in my opinion, a bad business decision.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to.
Like clearly, they went under because that was not a well-managed studio.
Well, no.
And also, I don't know what their sales numbers were.
I know.
Either.
I'm going to call it right now. What's going to happen? THQ is going to buy that shit because they buy everything. They're just not. They're just going to buy it for the name.
You mean THQ Nordic? Because THQ proper doesn't exist anymore.
THQ Nordic, who eventually wasn't THQ Nordic originally Nordic, and then they added the THQ to their name after they acquired THQ because they wanted. I
believe that is correct.
Because they wanted the brand loyalty. It'll be THQ Nordic Telltale. That's going to be their new name. Not happening at all whatsoever. But kind of. Steimer's just shaking her head. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Google's Project Stream lets you play Assassin's Creed Odyssey in Chrome. This comes from CNET from Morgan Little. Also, if I'm talking funny, my mouth is numb from the shake I'm drinking. It's very.
Do you want me to read this?
Yeah, I can't feel my tongue.
I'll read it.
Thank you.
I'm like, just girl, I'm here. Tap me in. Put me in, coach.
I'm tagging you in, baby. You're tagged in.
Okay, so. In a surprise announcement Monday, Google revealed a partnership with Ubisoft to bring the upcoming game Assassin's Creed Odyssey to your Chrome browser. On the same day the game comes out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, a limited number of players will be able to put Google's new streaming technology, Project Stream, to the test in what could be a big step forward for efforts to bring blockbuster AAA games to streaming platforms. It's hard to read this over here. I'm going to move it over here. All right. The idea of streaming such graphically rich content that requires near instant interaction between the game controller and the graphics on the screen poses a number of challenges, Google said in its blog post announcing Project Stream. When streaming TV or movies, consumers are comfortable with a few seconds of buffering at the start, but streaming high-quality games requires latency measured in milliseconds with no graphic degradation. Google isn't alone in bringing Assassin's Creed Odyssey to streaming platforms. Ubisoft is also experimenting with bringing the game to the Nintendo Switch in Japan via cloud servers. That's weird, but cool. The announcement follows long-standing rumors about Google making a more serious foray into the gaming industry, dubbed Yeti by early reports. You can watch a 1080p 60 frames per second video of Assassin's Creed Odyssey captured from Project Stream below and sign up for a limited beta. Well, there's a link, so it's like sign up for it here, but I don't have the actual link. Sorry, Google it. And a word of caution for this, for those with slow internet connections. This test is geared towards participant with a home internet connection of at least 25 megabits per second.
Okay, so that link is projectstream.google.com/ACO/signup. I don't know how long this link is going to be valid. So maybe it'll be a thing.
Google Project Stream Assassin's Creed. I'm sure it'll come.
Got it. All right. So this is interesting because Google has been trying to get into the gaming space for a while. They were looking at Twitch. They were looking at that. What's that one? Gakai? How do you pronounce it? Gakai? Gaikai. It's a cloud gaming service. Gaikai. I can never say that. But so there's been at least two noted times when Google's like, yo, we want to get into gaming. And then someone else kind of swoops in and then takes that away from them, or they like outbuy them or outbid them or something. So what this means, because obviously, Project Scarlet, the rumored next Xbox console, is the first one we've heard of that they're going to have a physical console. This is all rumors, by the way, obviously. Going to have a physical console, but then they're also going to have the streaming only console that you just stream everything.
Yeah.
And the concern is, and a valid concern is, who can handle that? What infrastructure? Which countries can that work with? Yes,
Not only that, though, the real question is, if Google can do this in your internet browser, why would you ever buy a box?
I don't know. You tell me.
That I think is the bigger issue, is like, if this goes well, like that, you can't make a streaming only box. Why would you ever make a streaming only box?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can now stream apparently in my fucking web browser, like, which is crazy. Because like, yes, you obviously have to worry about internet issues, but if you were a consumer with the internet requirements, blah blah blah, and those are your options, is spend money on a box or just use the PC you probably already have and not have any tech requirements because it's streaming.
Yeah, I guess that's an interesting point. I think for me, I'm thinking about what would I rather do. I think I would rather, yeah, that's an interesting point, because I always want a huge TV in my living room anyway. And if I'm going to have a huge TV, am I going to want to hook up a computer underneath that where my consoles go? Or am I going to want a console that I can easily take around? And again, I don't know a lot about streaming, unless laptops will be able to do this as well. If that's the case,
theoretically, the only thing that needs to be good is the internet connection, right? Because all the processing is happening offsite. So yes, your laptop could theoretically do this.
Huh. That's interesting. You just have to use an HDMI to hook it up to your TV, and if that doesn't cause any latency issues, then blammo goes the dynamite. I mean,
it would be. This is going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see how this test goes.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pretend like I know a lot about streaming and how this streaming stuff works. I just know that if this works well, it could mean that maybe we're not as far away from these cloud-based consoles or these streaming-based consoles as we thought we were. I
would be curious to see if I would argue it could in a theoretical world destroy the need for them. Mm-hmm. Like, I would think that then the box would need to also do other things. Like, you couldn't just stream on it, is my point.
Right.
Making a streaming only box would seem stupid.
Unless, okay, so you can watch a 1080p 60 FPS, but that's not 4K, right?
No. I think streaming 4K would be a ways away.
It's a ways away. So maybe that's the need for a console for a while. But
I'm not saying it eliminates the need for a console. Mm-hmm. I'm saying for a streaming only console. Like, if the box can only stream, that is not useful. If it's the same thing that is happening right now on my television, great, keep it up. And you have the option of streaming, fine, whatever, I don't care. I won't use it. But my point was just, if that's all the box can do, it doesn't make a lot of sense if Google is now saying you can do it in a web browser.
Got it. Do you see yourself ever using something that's web-based streaming only or anything like that?
Me personally, no. But I know that there are a lot of people out there who can't afford consoles, who still want to experience these games, or maybe, I don't know, like, I think it's an interesting concept for other people in the world, because it's not necessarily anything that I need, but it's not all about me.
It's not all about me either. It's just a harsh reality, children, that you have to learn to live. Learn to learn someday. I don't understand. I'm trying to drop some knowledge, and I just fumbled all of that. It's all good.
Yeah. It's okay.
You know, it's interesting, and I saw some people raising concerns also, because I know, again, I'm going to botch all of this, but people have a concern with streaming only because they feel like then that way you don't own the media. Obviously, you never own it. All you're ever doing is getting a license, but if you're just streaming it, you don't even have a license, right? You're just kind of consistently streaming it.
Yes.
So people are also concerned about that. I mean, I understand it. It's a wild, wild west. We're starting to explore some uncharted territory, and it's going to be fascinating to see how this impacts the industry going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're starting to get to the point where we are all aware as humans that we don't own software, like, because games have shut down and have gone away, and you've spent money on them. Like, and that's just part of the ecosystem now at this point. It's just something we live with, and you can sit there and be like, oh, the good old days, but it's there was good and bad to that too. If a game shipped broken, they couldn't fix it.
That's very true. ladies and gentlemen.
There was no such not only that, there was no such thing as games of service. Like, that didn't exist.
No.
So this will be definitely interesting, and I will keep my eye on it just for industry's sake. But for me as a personal consumer, it's probably not something that I would use because I like what I'm doing already. I don't see a need to change it.
Yeah. So I'll hold hands and we'll get through this together. Not that it's going to be a difficult thing to get through. We'll experience it all together. All right.
Yeah.
Steimer, mouth is still numb. You got the next one too? That's what she said.
Yeah, of course. So Seattle police launch an anti-swatting program. So this is by Nathan Grayson of Kotaku.
I love him.
Yes.
Great guy.
Okay, so swatting, I think we can all agree, is pretty much the shittiest prank a person can pull. I wouldn't even call it a prank. Oh, yeah, that's the next part of the sentence. If you could even call an action that might lead to someone's death a prank, I would argue no, you can't. Somebody calls the police and accuses someone else, often someone who is live streaming, of an in-progress crime so heinous that a SWAT team shows up at their door with unpredictable consequences. Late last year, a 28-year-old was killed as a result of this. So as police continue to struggle with this issue, the Seattle Police Department has actually taken some proactive measures. As spotted by Ars Technica, the Seattle PD now has an official swatting resource site that encourages streamers or anyone else who feels like they might be in danger of getting swatted to create a profile with a data management service and flag yourself as having swatting concerns. Once you've done that, police should handle any calls about you that come their way with extra care. So a 911 caller would take, 911 call taker receives a report of a critical incident, reads an explanation of how the system works on Seattle PD's website. While ensuring first responders are dispatched to that call for service as quickly as possible, the call taker will simultaneously check for whether or not swatting concerns have been registered at that address. If swatting concerns have been registered, this information will be shared with responding officers who will still proceed to the call. The site also includes videos of what police say is raw footage from a swatting incident and an anti-swatting PSA. This is not the first time Seattle PD has engaged with Twitch and streaming culture. Last year, officers experimented with running an official Seattle PD Twitch channel on which they regularly played games while talking about their process. It's kind of cute. The whole thing fell apart after they used the channel to give an update on a very sensitive case in which officers shot and killed a pregnant black woman with a history of mental illness, all while playing Destiny. Yeah, that seems bad. Why would you? Why? Anyways, poor taste. After facing heavy criticism, the Seattle PD elected to discontinue use of its Twitch channel. Here's hoping this anti-swatting initiative works out better for all involved.
Yeah, the last part is just like, I actually don't remember hearing about that. The Seattle PD.
I don't either.
Just does not, don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. However, this is still very interesting because as we're seeing this industry go and grow and change and move forward, swatting is a serious issue. And it's really asshole-ish, and no one should ever do that. So it's interesting to watch those industries and companies and everyone else outside of gaming have to kind of adapt to this new culture that's building. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's definitely something, even if you don't live in Seattle and you are a person of the internet, I do think it's always worth calling your local police department. Granted, some of them won't get it, but if somebody does, it's good to have them be on record as like, I have called and said that I might be a target of this. Therefore, hopefully you won't like try to kill me in my house. Please no. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
So it's good that they have an actual registry sort of a thing happening now, and hopefully other cities will also take note and put that in process. It just sucks that they even have to do this.
I know.
It sucks that somebody thinks that is an acceptable thing to do to another human being.
100%. And because it is so shitty, it's just one of those things that I don't think you can get rid of swatting. I don't think it's because you can't control what people do, but you can take measures like this to help prevent unfortunate incidences, which is like happened last year with that poor 28-year-old. So
yeah, I think that, and I think prosecuting people who do SWAT to like the fullest extent would help diminish, but yeah, I don't think it will ever necessarily completely stop, which sucks.
Yeah, this is again wild west territory we're all traversing and trying to figure out how it works. But like Steimer said, also great advice. If you are a person of the internet, definitely call your police department or do something. Just be like, hey, this is what I do. Please don't come to my house.
Honestly, like showing your local police department what the Seattle PD is doing might actually be very helpful. Like, and they might be able to understand it a little bit better.
Right.
So I would say go to their website, go to the Seattle PD website, and then show your local police department of like, hey, even if you don't have an official process in place for this, I would like to flag myself as a person who may be targeted.
There you go. I don't have this in the news, but Steimer, I'm excited about this because one little tidbit is the Stardew Valley co-op on Switch is in QA testing right now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, girl. We're going to be farming together soon, making babies.
Oh, my God. So many babies with you.
I'm so excited. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up this first news segment. When we come back, we're going to talk all about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've been playing a game called Titan Quest. Steimer played Life is Strange 2. I don't know if she's going to want to talk about it yet. We'll find out.
Maybe.
You'll have to stick around to find out. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Before we hop into Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Steimer and I are going to pinch off a few other little games that we've been playing.
Oh, don't say that.
You don't like the word pinch off?
No.
You don't like that saying? We're going to, okay, what's another phrase I can use?
We're just going to talk about a couple of
come on, I have to have something witty and clever to say. There has to be something I can use besides pinch off. Okay.
There most certainly is other things you could say.
I mean, it's like my go-to. God dang it. I can't think. Okay. Well, rip off? No, that wouldn't work.
No.
Pinch. It's not going to work. Okay, we're going to knock out.
There we go.
There we go. We're going to
1-2 punch.
We're going to 1-2 punch a few smaller titles. So when Andrea Renee returns from her glorious vacation and when I get back from mine that follows hers, we are going to be doing our Life is Strange 2 Episode 1 spoiler cast. But in the meantime, I've played Life is Strange 2 Episode 1 and Steimer has played Life is Strange 2 Episode 1.
Yes.
And I loved all the flurry of text messages I got from
you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read those on the spoiler cast. That's always one of my favorite things. Is like, here's me as a friend. Just here's a little window into what I am like.
I love you.
Because I'm often just like bitching about stupid shit.
It's valid though.
What?
Valid. You have valid complaints.
That makes it sound like I don't like this game. I did enjoy the game, I would like to say overall. And I applaud them for taking on such heavy content and not shying away from it. Because it is rather, I will just say, political. And if you are a citizen of the world at this time, there are definitely things that would make you uncomfortable or could make you uncomfortable. But I think that it's really great that they are addressing these subjects. And again, I'm going to try and keep it like vague because I think that you should just play it and see. I'm enjoying the relationship that's happening, even though I traditionally hate little kids in general, but mostly in video games. Sure. And there were certainly a couple shake fist moments for me.
Yeah, I think the hard part is remembering that these are children. Even though Sean is 16, you know, he still says and makes some really stupid decisions. And you're like, why did you think that's a logical thing to do? And then it's like, okay.
The answer is, because you're young and stupid.
As Judge Judy would say, he's not,
How is there an
he's not quite cooked. Desk? You have an ant?
No.
So this is we get bugs every time we record a show together. I had Bartholomew the gnat. Now you have to name your ant.
No, he's going to be dead here in a minute.
Let's name him Henry.
Goodbye, Henry.
Henry the ant and Bartholomew the gnat. They were best friends, and that was that. Boom.
He's dead. Where did you come from? He's one ant. I've never seen ants in my apartment. That's so bizarre. He was just one crawling on my desk.
Was it a little sugary ant?
I don't know. He's dead now.
Little black ant. Well, that didn't last long. She'll tolerate spiders in her apartment, but a little ant, nah.
Ants can go away. Like in my old apartment in San Francisco, we were plagued by ants. There were just ants everywhere all the time. It was awful.
Yeah, ants suck. They're bad because once you have one, you have like a million.
Yes.
You're gonna wake up and
which is why I'm confused and why there's only one, and I'm looking around now on my floor to see if there are more crawling around anywhere, and I don't see anything.
They're in your bed.
Why would you say that?
No, I'm sorry.
I wish to do this.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, sorry. But yeah, so I enjoyed Life is Strange. I'm very much looking forward to the spoiler cast so we can talk about more specifics of what happened in that episode. But I am digging it.
Digging it. Well, yeah, I am very excited for this too.
But Brittany, what is this ye old Titan quest you are playing?
So I don't know. I'm on a Greece kick right now. So I was obviously just in Greece not that long ago. And I'm currently playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and now I'm playing Titan Quest, and I actually watched 300 over the weekend. I don't know what it is.
Man, you're like ancient Greece in me. Yeah.
I know, I got some Greece in me. So Titan Quest is a game that originally released in 2006. It was published by THQ, and it recently came to consoles this year. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really know what's going on in the story. I'm maybe 10 hours into this, but it's kind of sort of scratching the Diablo itch that I've had for a very, very, very long time. It's old school action venture hack and slash CRPG sort of thing, in the sense that it's top down. You know, you have tons of enemies that come around you as you're exploring these maps. There are caves, there are some dungeons you explore, and it's an RPG in the sense that you level up and then you get skill points every time you level up, and you actually get to assign those skill points yourself manually, which is such a thing. I love it so much, but it's so hard to find that anymore. I think because developers are worried that people are going to botch their game experience by building a broken character, which I can understand that, but that's why respecing is a thing. Anyway.
That's also true.
Yeah, I'm saying, man. So every time you level up, you get 2 skill points or 3 or however many, and you get to assign them to your strength, your magic, your defense, all the things, whatever you want to do, not defense, but there's like 5 or 6 different attributes. And then you have a whole nother skill tree where you have dozens of other options, and you can choose how you want to send those, where you want to spend those skill points as well. So I think it has 4-player co-op. I could be wrong, but I'm obviously playing with Jason, and we're playing online co-op. So we have our 2 TVs in the living room, and we're using them, and it's just really fun. Like I said, it scratches that Diablo itch. It's obviously nowhere near as polished. It doesn't have all of the features, all of the mechanics of a Diablo game, but it does have that, you know, you run around top-down view. There's different villages, there are side quests, there are tons of monsters to kill, open fields, that sort of thing, and we're having a lot of fun. It does have its glitches. There's points where my character will disappear completely off of Jason's game, and so he has to look at my game in order to know like where I am. But I'm still there and I'm killing things. It's just my character model isn't there.
You're just invisible.
Yeah, or he on my screen will just kind of like skate around my screen a little bit. He's like not actually moving with actual movement.
It's just like a chess piece being moved around.
Yeah. So I tweeted about this game a little earlier last week, and to my surprise, it's a very well-known game. A lot of people reached out and they're like, oh, I love that game, the game is so good, blah blah blah, how's it aged? And I would say it's aged fine. Just expect it to be a 2006 game.
I would say it's whatever.
It's okay. I originally tried playing this on PC probably a couple years ago, but sometimes PC games just don't stick because, like I said many times before, I sit on a computer all day, and sometimes I want to get off of a computer. So it didn't stick.
Reasonable.
Yep, it's amazing. So it didn't stick on the PC back then, but now it's sticking on console. It's a little janky, but the core gameplay and the old school RPG mechanics are really fun. So I would recommend it.
If you're looking for some more ancient Greece, get you some Titan Quest.
Some Titan Quest. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Steimer.
Mm-hmm.
We have been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You have been playing, I think, a lot more than I have. So
how far are you?
I'm only maybe like 5 hours in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm level almost about to hit 15.
Okay. So talk to me.
I've completed 3 episodes. I don't know how many episodes there are, actually.
I think there are 8 or 9, I think.
Okay. So I'm also still relatively early.
Yeah. I could be wrong. But
this is going to be a divisive, I think, Assassin's Creed for people. For me, as someone who didn't quite click with Origins the way I wanted to, and in general doesn't, like, I always want to love Assassin's Creed, and there's always just something off about it that makes it a game I play for actually roughly like 15 hours, and then I usually bounce.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it might just be the female protagonist. Maybe I'm that shallow. I don't know.
Hey, no. You're not. Listen, that's not you being shallow. I just want to stick that out there right now. It really makes a big difference when you feel like you can relate to a character. Sometimes it's just that extra little push you need to really get hooked. I also have experienced that.
Yeah, but then like the counterpoint is like I don't even know how many hours of Witcher, and like that's a dude.
But that's The Witcher.
I know, but I'm just saying it's not a thing that I necessarily need in a video game, but it's something that I very much am finding that I appreciate in this one. So I feel like this, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
Sure.
I might be saying something that I'm going to set myself up for failure here. But I feel like this might be the first Assassin's Creed I finish.
Same here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's like my goal because I genuinely enjoy this story. I genuinely think this world is beautiful. I will argue, I think it's a bit too large, once again. But it's not as intimidating, I think, as Egypt, because ancient Egypt is all land masses. And yes, it might be all sand in between those areas. There might not be anything there. But visually, when you pull out on the map, it looks impossible. Mm-hmm. It felt like it was impossible when I looked at Origins. I was so overwhelmed. I knew I was never going to finish it.
Right.
Now, when you pull out on the map in Odyssey, it's probably about the same size, to be honest. But there's islands. It's a lot of islands, and so to me, that is. I know.
Sorry, I couldn't. I tried to resist holding up the "That's What She Said" pillow, but I couldn't.
I know. Sorry. I say bad things. It's okay. The island portion of it somehow makes it more digestible to me. So I think that won't be as much of an issue moving forward in terms of just intimidation. There's less of an intimidation factor there. And I'm enjoying the changes that they've made to it. It makes me feel like I have more ownership over my character, therefore more ownership over the story. Even if it is a choice of illusion, I'm okay with that because it makes you feel a certain way. Like I know what I did in this one instance. Obviously, there will be no story spoilers here. So regardless, I'm okay. I don't know if that makes any sense because I can't. I'm like, there's a specific thing I'm thinking of, but trying to dance around it.
Do the little dance, do a jig.
Little dance. But otherwise, to me, honestly, the gameplay feels rather similar to Origins. So if you played all of Origins and loved it, I know I have friends who played all of Origins and loved it. I'm not talking about Andrea, even though obviously Andrea is one of them. And they aren't clicking with this game because I think it's too soon for them because they consumed so much Origins content that I don't think they're quite in that mindset. And I totally get it. I think because I only played about 15 hours of Origins, I was fine jumping into this one and am down to explore this. Not every nook and cranny. I'm exploring a lot more than I thought I would. Mm-hmm. And now I'm kind of wondering if I need to start critical pathing it just so that I don't get fatigued before I finish this game. Because I do want to finish this game.
Yeah. And that's where I'm finding myself. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey for me. So I played maybe like 15 hours of Origins and then another game came out. I don't know what it was, but something came out and took me away from it. And I, like you, Steimer, have not finished an Assassin's Creed game before. And I'm not sure why that is. I know with the earlier ones, I always felt like the Templars were hunting me all the time. I couldn't even
Dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Templars, like, the old games I wanted to like never finished, even though they were smaller, because of that. They police you so hard.
Yeah. They're douche nozzles. I got like 75% of the way through the first one, and I just played that for the first time maybe 5 years ago, and I was like, oh god, this has not aged well. And same sort of thing. Yeah, the Templars, I was like, this, I can't breathe without them, or like, I can't fart without them trying to kill me. It's just like not a good look. So no. I appreciated that about Origins, was just that they kind of took that away. At least I believe they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Origins didn't police you that much. The one thing that they did that I just tweeted about today, but I was like, the best part about Assassin's Creed Odyssey is that you can run over people with your horse and the game won't guilt the shit out of you for it. Because in Origins, it would be like, the Medjay is a protector of the people. And I'm like, fuck off. You didn't get out of the way of my horse. Like, what was I supposed to do? I'm not even controlling the damn horse. I'm hitting follow road, and clicking in the stick. And he's going. And so he's running over people, but it's not me. It's you. It's your AI.
And listen, like, if you're not smart enough to get out of the way of a galloping horse, like,
Yeah,
maybe
it's Darwinism.
you don't need to procreate. Exactly. So I think okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the other Assassin's Creed games I could never really get into. I tried Black Flag, but I feel like even that still suffered from the Templars being overreactive assholes. So Origins, it was fine. I liked Bayek as a character, but again, something swept me away. So with Odyssey, it feels like the Assassin's Creed games that I've played, aka Origins and Black Flag a little bit. But it's been a slow warm up. I don't know if it's because I've been feeling a little under the weather lately and I'm at a point right now where...
Hey, that happens to be in God of War.
That's true. That is very, very true. You said this game is okay or this game is fine or it's a great game.
This is a good game. This is a good game.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm thinking... That was so good. You had your freaking ear infection, sleeping.
I know, I was like, I'm dying. This is a good game.
Oh my god. You were like, it's fine.
Yep. I'm sure Corey was very pleased to hear that.
So I think that's the moment I'm having right now. It's because I've been home for 9 days now. I have hardly left the house, and I'm just like, I want to get out of the house. And gaming right now almost feels like a chore because it's the only thing I really can do to get my mind off of everything. So I think for that reason, it's not a fair judge. But what I've noticed is when I wake up in the mornings, I feel really good, probably because I just got a lot of sleep. So I've been playing Odyssey only in the mornings for maybe an hour at a time. And I've thoroughly enjoyed those moments when I feel energetic in myself. And then as the day goes on and I become a grumpy, hungry grouch, I'm I don't want to play anything. Nothing's good right now. So with that said, I'm starting to really warm up to this game. I feel like the more I see Cassandra and her fun personality, the more attached I get, which makes me want to experience more of the world so I can see how she interacts with it. It's the same sort of thing with Spider-Man. I've been going around doing all of the side quests because I like Peter Parker so much as a character that I okay, how is he going to react to this? Or what kind of lore can I learn from him if I do this side quest? Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. There are a lot of trees, but it's Greece. So they're different trees.
Dude, the underwater is beautiful.
Oh my god.
There are jellyfish down there. There's some manta rays. I was like, holy shit. Here's an interesting thing I learned about myself. So in Tomb Raider, I was like, I fucking hate the underwater sections. They are very stressful. And it's because there's no meter. There's no UI. Oh. The only UI you have is when she starts to basically die and then you're like, yeah, but I love exploring underwater in Assassin's Creed because it's just a straight up bar. It's an ugly ass UI, but I don't care because it's functional as shit. Okay. So there's just an ugly bar at the bottom of the screen that's full of blue, and that's your oxygen. Mm-hmm. Great. I know exactly how long I can stay under here. I can manage my time, and I can get the fuck out. That is what I need / want from an underwater section, if you will. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Assassin's Creed, for doing that.
Thank you.
Because it made me feel better.
Yeah. No, underwater bars are good. They're very ugly but functional as shit. That is the best. I want to get that on a t-shirt. Ugly but functional as shit. It's so good. So good, Cyber.
I mean, it's true. I get why Tomb Raider didn't do it, right? Because it's an aesthetics thing. Yeah. It doesn't look great on the screen.
No, it doesn't. So yeah, I mean, I can't say that Odyssey is pulling at me. Come play me. I can't say I'm totally craving to come to stop this episode and go play it. And again, that could just be because I've been feeling a little under the weather, but I know Andrea is super in love with it. I know Greg from Kind of Funny is super in love with it. Steimer, I know you've been really enjoying your time with it, and you're...
Yeah, I'm thinking about, I would rather be playing it right now. That sounds like fun to me. I want to jump in there and, no, I'm sorry, I love you so much. I love you so much, baby girl.
Single tear fell from her cheek.
But the only part that, so obviously there's ship stuff in this too. There are islands, as I have mentioned. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of taking the Black Flag / soon-to-be Skull and Bones approach of ship combat. For me, I don't love it. It's not a thing I particularly care to do with my time. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm kind of doing as much as possible is going around the ports, jumping off immediately, finding a sink point, and then getting back on the ship and continuing down, so that hopefully I won't have to use my ship that often eventually.
Oh, you can just fast travel.
Because there will be a point where I would like to never get on the ship again.
Oh, really? So you're not enjoying the ship stuff?
The ship's fine. I just feel like there are way fucking pirate boats all by my ass, and I want them to go away.
So how does the ship stuff work? Can you briefly break it down? Because I haven't gotten that far yet.
So yeah, if you if you haven't played Black Flag or
I've seen it in action.
Anything, you have your galley, your ship. You can basically encourage your rowers to row faster, but they have a stamina bar that will deplete fairly quickly. So you then have to use the triggers basically to fire arrows at the enemy ship or javelins. Like there's different types of attacks you can do, distance attacks on these ships. You have to kind of like line up your shot, angle it, fire, go. It depletes their health. They will fire back at you. You have to brace for impact in order to have it damage you less. It will still damage you, of course. You can ram ships. Then once that ship gets down to a certain specific health percentage, I don't remember what it is, low though, you can then board that ship, kill all the dudes on board, then you kind of plunder their loot. Ooh. You get their loot, and then the ship sort of falls apart and becomes floating boxes in the water that you just hit A or whatever, or X, I guess, on PlayStation, and pick it all up, and go about your merry way. So, like, it's a way to get supplies, but they're not super forcing it, but there's enough in there where I'm like, I just don't want to do it at all.
Now, can you avoid them at all, or is it no?
I mean, yes and no. You can't avoid it at certain story parts. They make you, like, there's a certain thing where it's like there's a blockade of ships. You have to take them out.
Okay.
That's fairly early on, and it's designed to teach you ship combat mechanics. And then as I'm going forth now, this is probably the longest journey that I will make that I'm currently on. Where I'm, like I said, I'm stopping off at different ports to pick up those sync points so that I can fast travel back there later. But if you didn't want, you could just kind of go straight down. However, like I've mentioned, there seem to be a decent amount of pirate ships in the way. So either you're going to try and have to outrun them, which is annoying and probably impossible because there's multiple, and these are small channels. Or you're going to have to fight all of them.
Oh. Yeah,
So, I don't love that.
Yeah.
But if you are like, fuck yeah, I love ship combat, great.
Then you're going to have a good time
in this game. You will have a great old time. They also have a lot of ship customization. I think Andrea mentioned last time she made her crew all females. Mm-hmm. And I'm slightly irritated because the only way you can get that is if you've signed up for Ubisoft Club and have gotten a certain amount of XP in an Assassin's Creed game, which I should have earned because I played enough of Origins. However, it didn't track it. Oh. So it looks like I have no XP in Origins, which sucks. And therefore, like, I already have, I think, 1,000 in Odyssey, and I haven't played as much Odyssey as I've played of Origins. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that I have nothing in Origins, I'm like, this broke, which is annoying. Because it means I can't get the all-female crew.
What's the default then, if you can't get that?
Just a bunch of dudes. You can swap out different dudes.
Oh, but you have to pay to get the all-female? Oh.
You can't pay for it.
You can't pay, sorry. You have to use your Ubisoft points.
It's Ubisoft Club. It's not even points. It's like you have to be part of the Ubisoft Club, and you have to have played enough amount of Assassin's Creed games that have been linked to that account.
Oh, so you have to do both. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to get that then either. No.
So I'm hoping, I honestly hope they'll give me an option to pay for it. Like, let me fucking pay for it.
Honestly, real talk, you shouldn't have to pay for that. It should just be an option. No, if you're playing as Cassandra or Alexios or whoever, you should have the option of recruiting a male group or a female group. That's okay.
It's just a skin. It's a skin over the crew, and yeah, I totally agree. There should just be like a basic bitch mode for both. Like there's the basic dudes, basic girls, like basic all female crew, basic all male crew, and let you swap. I agree with that. And then if you want them to be fancier, you buy customizations. Cool, whatever. But as of right now, that's the only way to get the female crew, and I'm a little bit annoyed by it.
No, that is an annoying thing. That's silly.
You can get... So I have 2 female captains on my ship. Mm-hmm. But they aren't the crew, if that makes sense. They aren't the ones singing the shanties.
Do you have to recruit them?
Yes.
Okay. Because I got my...
But some of them you can pick up in story.
Okay, because I got my Sparta kick, which I'm very, very happy with, and it says in the little description that the people you kick off can be recruited later. But I haven't had to recruit anyone yet, but I'm assuming it's for the ship stuff.
That's another thing that will come up later. The story will sort of tell you how to do that. So basically, eventually, instead of killing someone, excuse me, you can kind of knock them out and then recruit them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
be like, get on my ship.
Get on my ship.
That I've recruited so far have been side mission NPCs. Those so far have been way better than anybody you could possibly knock out and put on your ship.
Oh, okay. So you want to do side missions to get the bitches on your ship?
I would assume either side mission, or you would want to wait for like the captain people, like the big boys. You don't want Joe Schmo guard captaining your ship.
I do not.
No,
I don't. Yeah, I am enjoying my time with Odyssey. I hope I can finish this, like you, Steimer, and maybe we can rally together and this can be the first. Not that it's going to be a hard thing to do. Not that we're going to have to pull teeth to finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's just with so many other games coming down the line, I still haven't finished.
That are large games.
I still need to finish Spider-Man. I still need to finish Dragon Quest XI. It's just, there's just so many. And with Red Dead right around the corner, and you have Pokemon, and there's just so much coming up. I really want to, because I think with some more time, with a clear mindset, I could really click and love this game. I think
you'll enjoy the story. The story that's happening so far, I am very into.
And that's what I've heard from a lot of people. My problem is that I try to do all the question marks, and I try to do all of the, because
you can't.
I know. So
I mean, you can.
You can.
But.
So this game has exploration mode and guided mode. Now, when you're going through it, exploration mode is the way it says the game is meant to be played. However, I chose to go with guided mode because that shows you the icons and where things are on the map. And I don't feel like I have.
I think I'm playing exploration mode. I still have question marks on the map.
So, okay, so when you have a mission... I
don't quite understand it.
When you have a mission, does it tell you where to go? Or does it...
No.
Okay, so...
It gives you clues. It's like, here are 3 clues of where it is, and then you have to like look at the map and see where it would be, walk over that area, and then call your eagle and have her scout.
Oh, okay, because on guided mode, it shows you where to go. It gives you the yellow beacon right from the get-go.
Got it. No, on most of the regular missions, you have to sort of do a little digging and figure out where this person is with your eagle.
Is that ever annoying, or has it worked really well?
No, for me, it hasn't been super annoying. In fact, I kind of like it, because then it's like, oh, where is it? And you like pull out the map, and you're like, okay, it says that it's like a little bit north of this thing over here, and then you send your I enjoy it.
See, I feel like I should enjoy it too, because I think that's fun, because they do give you a lot of hints, and it's cool to explore this beautiful landscape that, you know, Ubisoft has created in Greece. But I think I'm feeling just the pressure of, trying to finish some other games and feeling like I'm already in a time crunch.
Yep,
and
I feel you.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate feeling, because I really just want to be able to sit back and take my time with Odyssey, but I don't know if I can do it. I just have to get my mind right. And I'm like, how do I do this? Like, how do I not feel pressured?
Totally
and I still haven't even touched Tomb Raider yet. So
see, here's the good news I will bestow upon you.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, not that long. Tomb Raider, not that long. I've finished both. You'll be okay with those. Dragon Quest, I have no idea. You might be screwed there.
Yeah.
But so that's what, and I definitely even feel that myself. Granted, I've still been sort of taking my time with this as of right now and have been enjoying it. And I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I'll go over here and do this thing, or go over here and do that thing. And now I'm like, I really should stop dilly-dallying and get my shit together and kind of try and do the main story as much as possible, because I do know Red Dead's coming out. But here's my one other plea. Should anybody from Ubisoft be listening to this podcast, which I doubt it, but so there is a piece of armor called the Hunter's Vest or some shit, and I have a rare version of it that gives me the most badass war paint. It looks like Kratos shit. It's so cool. Ooh. And I love the way she looks in it, and I love everything about it. However, this game does not have a transmute feature. So while I can upgrade this piece of equipment, it will never be as good as a legendary piece of equipment, meaning at some point I need to swap the shit out. which is such a bummer to me because I'm like, this is exactly how I want to look.
Because then you'll lose your war paint.
Because then I'll lose my war paint if I switch to another thing. So either let me transmute this onto a legendary piece. I feel like that's a feature they will eventually get around to. They're already sort of figuring it out with, like I just said, with upgrading your equipment. So they know that sometimes you get attached to a piece of equipment and you want to keep it. They just haven't sorted that out in terms of rarity.
Got it.
So I have this blue piece that is now considered garbage compared to these legendary pieces that I have, but I desperately just want to wear the blue piece.
Are you just holding on to it?
Yes.
Can't get rid of it.
It's still in my inventory. Honestly, I might do the stupid as fuck, but this is how I play games. I might just swap to it before I know there's a story mission.
Oh, like you do with Geralt. You shave Geralt's face. That's not stupid.
I shave Geralt's face in preparation for a cutscene. I will wear this vest in preparation for a cutscene because I want to see her
in her war paint.
In the war paint. I think the war paint's super cool. Or just let me buy the war paint
separately. Yeah. Important question, Steimer. Have you found any armor with a cape?
No. But I'm okay with it. Like I said, I prefer like the weird huntress thing that she has with the war paint. That's like
okay.
I thought you were going to ask me something else.
It was a very important question. I know you love your capes, and I know you love your feathers on Cullen, so I was just wondering.
I do, but I love the shit out of her braid. Her braid's amazing.
Her braid is pretty amazing. Okay, so you have finished Tomb Raider, you finished Spider-Man. I know you're still working on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but do you kind of have a lineup in your head where these games stand for you?
Well, they're like Assassin's Creed is the largest of all of them in terms of content. And I don't know, Spider-Man was really good. Spider-Man, I dug a lot. I think Tomb Raider was one of those unfortunate things where I played it right after Spider-Man, which is really good. So I didn't like it as much. I still think it was a super strong story and fairly solid gameplay. But it's just naturally going to rank a little bit lower when you come off a high like that.
I know.
And which sucks. I'm sorry, Tomb Raider.
Oh no, it's a real problem. It's after God of War release, I think I tried to hop into
I finished
Far Cry 5. Yeah, I tried to finish Far Cry. Bad idea.
Yes, it's the Far Cry effect.
Yeah.
Which is do not play that after something like God of War because you will hate it immensely. Even though again, it's not a bad game. It's just when you're having one of those things back to back, it's not you notice the difference.
Right.
And that's not. I would say the Far Cry difference is way worse than the Tomb Raider difference.
Sure.
But there was still a difference to be had. And then Assassin's Creed is just such a different thing for me. I mean, I guess they're all third-person, sort of open-world-ish. Tomb Raider's not as open-world games, so they should be relatively similar. I don't know. I need to see where this Assassin's Creed Odyssey story is going, because the story of Spider-Man, I really dug. And I dug a lot of the things that they did, gameplay-wise, with mixing things up, so you didn't feel like you were constantly doing the same shit.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
you have something else? What?
I do. Are you joking? Brittany, what's the one thing we talk about all the time in BioWare games that you can now do in Assassin's Creed? Yes.
I haven't banged anyone. I flirted with one woman once, and then I pissed her off.
3 people. 3.
Okay, how's the banging?
I mean, it's sad. It cuts to a black screen.
No!
Which makes sense because there's no way they were going to animate like all these. Because again, I've slept with 3 people already, and it's like the third of the game. So I slept with the girl you're probably talking about. It takes a while, but you can sleep with her. I slept with an old lady, not a joke, and then I slept with a dude.
Oh, this is the important question you thought I was going to ask you earlier. And I asked you about capes instead.
This is the important question I thought. You went capes, and it threw me off for a second.
I'm fucking with you now. Okay, so, do you get anything for banging these people? Like in The Witcher, you would get a playing card of the woman.
Just for funsies.
Okay.
I just like knowing that she's a very free Cassandra, and she can bang who she wants when she wants, and that makes me happy.
And no repercussions that we know of anyway.
No, of course not. It's ancient Greece. Everyone screwed everybody.
Everyone screwed everyone, and everyone throws up a lot in this game.
I haven't seen the barfing that you're talking about.
I swear, every time I see an NPC, even the people in the forts that I'm trying to take down, the guards and whatnot, they're still throwing up.
I wonder if you have a bug. I don't think that's normal.
Like legit, like the boss guy I had to kill. Gosh, what are they called? The leaders, the bandit leader. He was literally just barfing for like 5 minutes against a tree, and I'm like, this is really weird. So I just walked up behind him and assassinated him, and I was like, all right. God. Sorry, sir, you're dead now. And then another woman was throwing up everywhere. This other, I mean, people are just, I even texted you because I was like, dude, people barf a lot in this game.
And I was like, it's ancient Greece. They're all drunk. I can't say that I've felt that same way. Like, I'm trying to think back, and I don't think I've noticed that much barfing in my game. Oh my God.
It's not like, I mean, they do make pretty gross sounds, but it's not awful. But it's, you know, when your headset, when you're all over, it's just, you know, it is what it is. I do want to say that it could be because I have a pre-release shenanigan, a build, a copy, whatever you want to call it, a review copy, that I have encountered a few bugs that have been, I don't know if the bugs, so basically what happens is the game
crashes.
It crashes, thank you. Yeah, the game won't, sometimes it won't start up. When it does start up, this has happened maybe half a dozen times. I'll be in the menu and I'll back out of the menu, and then the screen just goes black, and all sounds minus the ambient sounds from the outdoors go away. So I'm listening to beautiful birds and whatnot, but there's no game, just a black screen. It's meditation mode. I'm like, okay, this is time to meditate. That has happened several times, and the problem is then at that point, all I can do is open up I'm playing on Xbox One, open up the Xbox menu, force close it, and then try to boot it up again. And when I try to boot it up again, it won't work that time. And then once I get the error code, then I'll try it again, and then it will work. The problem is that you lose progress, you know, when this happens. So I just have to make sure every time I back out of the menu, I just do a quick save. I'm sure this is something that will be addressed in a day one patch, hopefully, or in an upcoming patch, because it's irritating.
So one thing, obviously, thank you to Ubisoft for providing us codes.
Yes, thank you.
Also, Phil, I forgot where I was like, oh shit, we should have probably said that. It's fine. We said it now.
There we go.
have been given codes. Thank you very much. But also, that happened to me. So Brittany texted me that as well. She was like, have you had this issue? I'm like, yeah, I did actually have it, but I only had it once. It happened to me like one time I backed, but then I'm also playing an Xbox One X, force closed it. I just was able to open it right away with no issues and then continue on. So like it hasn't happened since, and I've played for at least like 7 more hours since then. So that hasn't been a thing that I've really had to deal with too much, but it did happen to me too.
Maybe I just have a botched copy with people barfing and
people barfing and the screen going black because you're blackout drunk.
That's exactly what it's a drunk simulator.
Yes.
That's exactly what this game is. Game of the air.
The game is feeding off of your whiskey. It feels it happening in the air. Maybe Jason's drinking too much and it's like picking up on the spores.
There we go. Oh my God, I love it so much. No, he's not drinking either. Jason's being such a good boy. He's like, aww. I won't drink if you can't drink. I'm like, thanks, babe. Thank you so much. I guess final thoughts is, it sounds like if you enjoy the gameplay of Origins and you feel like you're not burned out and you're looking for a new adventure in Odyssey and the whole Greek mythology and all that really cool stuff that's going on there, Odyssey probably is a game for you. If you feel like I don't really want to hop back into anything like Origins, it sounds like you might want to give Odyssey some time to I was going to say ferment, but that's
marinate.
Marinate. That's much better than ferment. God, I love you, Steimer. She did like you correct me on my pinch off. You're like, let's not say pinch off. Let's not say ferment.
Sounds gross.
It is pretty gross. Yeah. So do you agree with that?
Yeah. No, I really do, and I think if you're somebody who maybe like isn't a huge Assassin's Creed person, but always liked the concept of it. Again, like I said, I've never finished one before. I've always thought they were very interesting looking, but I was always irritated by how much the game seemed to force you / police you in certain ways. This seems to be the most freeing one of all of them because you do play as a mercenary. So yes, there are restricted areas where people will attack on sight, but otherwise you're pretty free. You can kind of do what you want. You can go where you want. People are not really likely to attack you as you're wandering around. At least that's been my experience so far. I don't know if at some point it will change. So for those of you who don't know, this is basically around the Peloponnesian War. So Athens is fighting against Sparta. So part of the shtick that happens is each area is controlled by either Sparta or Athens, or the Athenians rather, you should say, and you can deplete sort of that nation's stronghold over an area. Once it gets low enough to a certain point, you can initiate a quote-unquote conquest battle, I believe it's called, and a battle will take place, and then that region's control will shift. So I'm not sure if at some point, I don't know if the game will ever force you to pick a side. I'm not at a point where it has yet. It seems like you can kind of just go back and forth and do what you want. Because again, like I said, you are a mercenary.
You do what you want.
Kind of the shtick of this thing. Conquest battles are sort of. You haven't done one yet because you haven't left Kefalonia, have you?
Nope. I just left.
Okay. So those are sort of weird in the sense that, like, if you don't know what you're doing at first, you're like, what the fuck's happening? So pro tip. It's basically going to be similar to the very beginning of the game. There'll be a large battlefield. There's a bunch of people fighting. What you want to do is you want to target the main bros, like the dudes who in hideouts, bandit places have the gold cards over their head. So like the leaders, the captains. You want to target those guys and try and take them out because it will help deplete. There's 2 meters on the screen. Again, Assassin's Creed, ugly but very functional. 2 meters on the screen where one side is depleting. So whichever side you're going for, you want to be taking out the others. And those give you good loot pieces. Like I think it's epic loot will always drop for you after the end of one of those battles. But you also, after that first one so far, all the others have been optional. I haven't really had to mess with it. One has popped up as an option for me to do. I just ignored it, moved on.
Oh, okay.
So I think that, again, that's why I'm enjoying this Assassin's Creed so much. It really feels to me like the most free, the most one where I can kind of do exactly what I want, with the exception of when it's trying to teach me a thing. So again, like the ships, where it was like, you have to fight these ships. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to fight these ships, but you need to teach me how to fight these ships so I get it.
So do you feel like you are like the person in charge of changing the world right now, or is that part of the feeling that you're talking about? You feel free, like you feel like you can just kind of live your life and do what you want.
Yes, I don't think in terms of story, it's not like you will change the fate of the universe. It's mostly, it's ancient Greece.
Yeah.
But so you're not like the will depends on you.
Sure.
But it's an interesting personal story of Cassandra or Alexios if you're playing as Alexios, who, by the way, is also very hot. So tasty. So I probably could have been okay playing as him, to be honest.
We would have complained. It would have been fine.
You're pretty enough where this is fine. But yeah, I feel like in terms of, again, last time as Bayek or Bayek, I felt the need to be a certain way because of who he was. He was a Medjay. He's a person he's like a people, like, what do you call it? Like a
savior of the people.
Savior of the people, whatever. Yeah. Like he is supposed to be good. So you don't feel great doing bad things.
Got it.
But you are a mercenary. You can justify any of your actions, good or bad.
It doesn't tear down that wall, per se.
Yeah, so I really do appreciate that. And yeah, you're letting me run over people with my horse and not getting mad at me. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up from Steimer. Well, yes. On that note, I think we've talked about Assassin's Creed Odyssey and covered almost all of the angles. So, with that,
yes.
I think we can wrap up this second segment, aka our final segment of this week. Again, apologies, this show is a little bit shorter than you're used to. I appreciate your patience. By the time we come back next week, I will be eating solid food again. And
oh my God, so exciting.
I will be back in action, drinking whiskey, and weirder than ever. So, Steimer, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being an awesome partner in crime during these Britt and Steimer episodes. They're very, very fun.
I love you very much.
I love you. Although we do miss our little redheaded wonder. I know. Never the same without her. Thank you all for listening. And I don't think we have anything else upcoming besides the
TwitchCon. Did we talk about TwitchCon?
We did at the top of the episode. We did.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm having a brain fart and don't remember it already.
Listen, it's been a long day. We're good. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.